What is going on, guys? I hope you had an amazing weekend. I'd like to show you my breakdown for the week ahead on DXY and EURUSD. So let's start this. DXY, I know that this is not the end of the quarter. However, I'd like to show you this is an important level where we are at right now. So obviously, I don't think I need to explain this to anyone, but this definitely looks like a bigger bearish trend, with this being as the original consolidation, a buy model, and then we could possibly see a sell model happening right here. So let's jump down to the monthly chart. So on the monthly, what we can see is that price has been moving up in the last 2 months, and now it reached this monthly bearish fair value gap, and we have liquidity sitting at the bottom. So as I said, we might see this happening. However, it doesn't have to do this. It can just keep going up and up and up, especially that what we can see on the weekly. That on the weekly we have 8 weeks of bullish candles, bullish run, and it nicely rejected off of this weekly inverse fair value gap, and then moved higher. It rejected off of this structure level on the weekly just last week. So we are still in a bullish trend on the weekly and on the daily. So if we're going to see something like this, rejection from this fair value gap, we might see another push higher on the weekly. So if we get a rejection, that confirms for me that the bullish weekly trend isn't over. If we check the daily, on the daily, what we can see is price rejected off of this daily bullish fair value gap, and now this can still act as an inverse fair value gap, and you can see that inside this weekly bullish fair value gap we have a daily bullish volume imbalance. So this can easily happen. As I said, price comes down, raise these lows, and then start moving higher. We also have a tiny daily fair value gap there, which can also act as a possible support. Let's see the 4 hour. So in the 4 hour, what we can see is that 4 hour order flow is very, very clear. 4 hour bullish fair value gap, another one rejected, and now we have another 4 hour bullish fair value gap to work with. So this will be the first level I'm looking at for the week ahead. If we jump down to the 1 hour, we can see that there is an inverse one as well, 1 hour bullish inverse fair value gap. But also if we look at this low a little bit closer, so this was a 4 hour bullish fair value gap rejection. It actually made a strong low in here. This sharp move down, sharp move up is always a strong low, especially if it takes out some liquidity, which actually happened right here. So it took out some liquidity, popped into the 4 hour bullish fair value gap, created a strong low. So this strong low can stay for the week ahead and remain intact. So we can see that there is already some liquidity happening in here just above this 4 hour bullish fair value gap. So Monday at the moment there are no red news, so it can easily happen that on Monday price will just move sideways, and then on Tuesday we can form the low of the week and then start moving higher. But as I said, alternatively, I will be looking at this 1 hour bullish inverse fair value gap and also the daily and the weekly level, guys, because if we get a rejection from a daily or a weekly fair value gap, that just again confirms the bullish trend, and I don't want to be looking at any shorts. So for the shorts, I would like to see the daily bullish and the weekly bullish fair value gaps, inverse fair value gaps, to fail and then make a bearish break of structure in here and then start moving lower and lower and lower, and that possibly means a huge sell on the DXY. But again, let's go back to the 15-minute. So if we're gonna see something like this, strong highs will be formed, then I'll be willing to take shorts as well, regardless of the bullish higher time frame trend. But I need to see these strong highs to be formed all the way down, and then I will adjust at the daily and a weekly bullish level. So that's it for the DXY. Let's look at EURUSD now. So this is EURUSD, guys, and as I mentioned in my previous videos, you can see that there is a monthly bearish fair value gap, and price actually rejected off of this 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and 4 times right now, moved sharply lower and left a monthly bearish BPR right here. On the weekly, what we can see is that, again, this is in a massive bearish trend. Price this week is rejected off of a weekly bearish fair value gap. First, it came down, stopped at this weekly inverse fair value gap, moved higher, rejected off of this fair value gap, sharp low. Again, this fair value gap didn't really make a huge rejection, and then price was just keep pushing lower and lower and lower into this monthly bullish fair value gap, what I was talking about a week before. So now we have the previous weekly low and the previous weekly high. Again, it's pretty much the same thing what I was showing you on the DXY. So I would like to see, at the moment I'm not looking at any of these levels because they're just too far away and I don't think they will be tagged next week. What we have in here is a weekly bearish fair value gap, which can possibly act as a support. If we jump down to the daily, what I have marked as a daily bearish inverse fair value gap there and another daily bearish fair value gap. So on the daily, what would be nice is to come up here to this level and then start moving lower and lower and lower. We have a 4-hour bearish fair value gap at the moment, and I believe there is nothing on the 1 hour. However, if we jump down to the 15, we can see that again there is liquidity generated at this level, so it would be an easy Monday sideways accumulating liquidity on both sides, and then take it out, have a Tuesday high of the week, and then just short it all the way until it does want to go down. But again, if it starts creating, let's go to the 15, if it starts creating these kind of price action, then now I'm willing to actually go long on that, because I know that this will go up to the daily or possibly the weekly level, and then we can have some short-term longs before the further shorts. So that would be it for the week ahead. As I said previously, I'm going to post almost every day some updates on my YouTube channel, on the community channel. So if you are interested in any more updates for the week ahead, possibly before London session, subscribe to the channel and see you next week.